To teach or not to teach gun safety in school, that's a bill under discussion at the Capitol this week. The bill states Wisconsin teens would learn how to handle guns at school. Our Keely Arthur took a closer look at the proposed legislation and joins us now with the latest.
Charlotte, this would be an elective, though schools would have to develop the course. They wouldn't have to offer it, which is what one local school district says it would do if the bill were to pass.
We don't just sell a gun. We try to sell a life change, to get the training involved so that you know what you're doing.
At Deerfield Pistol and Archery Center, when you purchase a gun, manager Brett Fankhauser hopes you sign up for a few shooting classes, too.
So you can do it effectively if you need to, and with less and less chance of hurting somebody else in the process.
Under a bill introduced this month, that education could extend into Wisconsin high schools. If passed, school superintendents would be required to develop curriculum to teach a firearms safety course, although current laws prohibiting live ammunition and its use on campuses would remain. Republican State Representative Ken Skowronski, the lead sponsor on the bill, says its purpose is to make sure teens interested in clay target and action shooting clubs, quote, become more responsible in understanding firearm safety and mechanics. The bill wouldn't require schools to offer the elective course, an option Madison Metropolitan School District Superintendent Jennifer Cheatham would take, writing, "We are focused on great teaching and improving outcomes for students. That is and will continue to be our focus, not teaching about guns in school." Fankhauser says he doesn't have a strong opinion either way, but knows when it comes to holding a lethal weapon, knowledge can make the difference between life and death.
The more you know, the better off you are about anything.
If the bill passes before school starts in the fall, districts would need to provide the curriculum for the 2017-2018 year. Charlotte?
Keely Arthur reporting tonight. Keely, thank you.